It's unbelievable, but here we are at Unit 10. We are just trucking along right through this term, and before you know it, it'll be over. So, this week we're going to cover a topic that is near and dear to my heart: cultural competence. I spent a good portion of my career researching, presenting, and teaching about multicultural knowledge, skills, and training. Additionally, I've written two textbooks about the topic. However, before we start on cultural competence, we're going to cover supervision. Topic 1 of this week is about supervision, which is a major part of your clinical training. Most of you will get the opportunity to be in supervision because most of you will be completing a clinical internship at some point during your graduate program at the Hazelden Betty Ford Graduate School of Addiction Studies. So supervision is important because this is where you get to learn the nuances of the practice of counseling. Your academic classes will set up the foundation for you to understand what happens in treatment. Your clinical training, though, allows you to get real life practice. However, you must be under the supervision of someone who's done it once or twice. No, I'm just kidding. Really, you should be under the supervision of somebody who's fully trained and licensed. So just like there are models for treatment, there are models for supervision, and you'll learn about those throughout this week. On to cultural competence. You are part of a cultural context. We all are. There is a reason that you hold the door for people behind you, or you say please and thank you, and you try to be on time for appointments. We all abide by cultural rules because if we don't, we will actually suffer social sanctions. For example, when you're late to an appointment in American culture, it implies a disrespect or disregard for other people's time. Not every culture agrees with this philosophy, which is what makes culture so unique. Different cultures have different rules and read behavior differently. You'll be covering workplace culture this week. So, for example, there are spoken and unspoken rules about what you should wear at work, how you should behave there, and even to whom you should go if you have a question. In some workplace settings, you should go to your immediate supervisor because there's much more of a relaxed relationship between supervisors and employees. In other settings, you should never go to your immediate boss with a question because it may imply that you're incompetent or you don't know what you're doing. I'm excited for everything that you're going to learn this week. So you'll have a study guide due at the end of the week, and that'll be for your next quiz, which is scheduled for next week. Your study guide should cover lessons 9 and 10. Remember that you covered lesson 9 last week, and you're covering lesson 10 this week. However, by the time you submit the study guide, you won't have covered lesson 11. So please note that the week 11 quiz will cover lessons 9, 10, and 11. So you'll need to study lesson 11 even though you won't be covering that on the study guide. I hope that makes sense. The study guide is due on Friday the 13th. Yes, Friday, November 13th, 2015 by 11:59 p.m. Central. Remember to try a new study technique if the ones you have been using aren't working. It also may be helpful for you to discuss with your peers how they study. You might get some great tips from them. That's all for now. I'll see you in the classroom.